everybody, it's Bill from Bill's Never Ending Projects. Let me check to make sure it's recording. Do you see digits up in the top corner going?
No.
Is the record put an extension out where you see the pause
Yep.
thing?
Yep.
Yes or no?
Oh, yep. Now I see numbers.
So we're recording?
Yep. It's really hard to see.
Okay. So we just did this video and now we're redoing it because it wasn't on record. That's why I was checking. This is an apple tree that I grew from seed. And I know some people on the internet tell you have to dry them out for a couple weeks like all seeds, and then you put them in the freezer for 3 months. And this imitates winter or something, and then when you take them out, they would sprout after watering them for a week or 2 or something like that, or 3. But I found out a way around all that stuff that works for me, and that's the way I've got most of my apple trees from seed to sprout. Is when I was driving truck, when I was driving semi, I have a video on my list of videos where I'm in a truck and I show where I sit and sleep and where my water sits, but I don't think I showed my trash. I have a normal trash bag over in the passenger side since nobody sits there, and I have it taped to the glove compartment and the seat and the armrest so that it's like a basket if I'm eating apples, which is one thing you can eat when you're driving semi. Then I whip them in there at the core when I'm done, and by the end of the week I could have between 5, 6, 7 apple cores in there if I ate one or two a day. And during the week, the ones from Monday really start rotting near the end of the week. I don't really throw anything in there that really stinks, but they rot, and I'm not getting any real stink from them. That's why I don't throw food away in there, but I throw apple cores in there. So when I take out the apple cores at the end of the week, the reason I started doing that is I had some aluminum cans in there, V8s, and I wanted to crush them. I mean, you get money for aluminum. So then I started accidentally taking the apple cores out, and on the way to the compost where I was going to throw them, I happened to break them apart and take the seeds out, and I noticed some were already sprouting from being in there in July and August is when it works, and this is August. And I just happened to try to make some money to fix one of my projects in the garage, a John Deere 620. I need to buy about $700 worth of parts. And so I went back in a truck this summer for 3 weeks, and I just saved. I just did the same thing, ate apples, threw them in the thing, and I took out any aluminum, and I took out the apple cores, and I broke them in half. Here they were sprouting like all the other years, so it still works, but it has to be when it's really, really hot. And you know, this is the hottest summer on record, so I took those out, and I noticed some were sprouting just like that. I didn't dry them out, and I didn't put them in a freezer, so here a whole bunch were sprouting, and all the ones that didn't sprout are probably still coming up without doing that, drying them off and then putting them in a freezer. So look at this huge tree. This was started from seed. The first few years, I suppose it's been in 10 years, because I started driving in 2006 or 2005. That would be it could have been in over 10 years, somewhere between 12 or 13 or whatever. Yeah, I had to wait a long time, but I didn't pay anything. And look how huge it is. I don't like those midget trees in the first place. And yes, about 3 years ago, we always wondered, is it ever going to produce anything? And 3 years ago, it finally got about 5 apples or 10 apples that we could use or at least see growing. Then last year was about 20, and this year, look, it's loaded. Right here alone is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just right here. So the tree is finally working. Now I'm going to take you over and show you some, thank you, camera person.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take you over. Yes, I would get my stuff from trucking out of my trunk, and I would put it on here, and then later after I put everything away and got my food that I had left in the refrigerator and was all done putting stuff away, I left my trash bag here with the apple cores, and I would split the aluminum and take out the apple cores, and that's where I accidentally, you know, thought, might as well not throw these in the dump with the landfill. They're stuff I could put in my own compost. So I would go from there over to this table, and I think I used this old grill I have that I put a tabletop on for working on potted plants. I think I put them here, and then I broke them apart, and that's where I found out they were actually growing. The seeds were already growing in the apple cores just in this 90-degree heat. They were already growing. Of course, I had an air conditioner going in my truck for the 11 hours I was driving. I had, I would take them out and I would put them in some kind of pot, but this time I happened to use a big one. And I would put those seeds in a pot, and since some were already sprouted and I knew they would come up. These are two that I just did 3 weeks ago when I was trucking, and this is how tall it is already. This is only like August 9th or something, if that. These two I put in here, and look at how big they are already. This is one from last year. See how big the stem is? It's taken forever for it to grow this summer because I kept it in the house all winter. It's one of those that's stunted now or something. The best thing to do is to try to get these, hopefully these get big enough so you can get them planted by October, or so that you can, then you got to put one of those cages around it, so because every one you plant, the rabbits will eat during the later part of the winter. They love them. So anyway, these are the ones that I got out of those apples that I ate while I was trucking, and because it's definitely hot. It's always 80 to 90 every day, and just from sitting in the trash bag, they start growing. And so I'm just repeating myself. So there it is. And I use compost in here. I at one time baled a bunch of hay but never got a barn built, and I had it all stacked up outside, and that was 10 years ago, so it all rotted down to a pile of black stuff. So I go get that's compost, and I mix it with my terrible clay like dirt that always hardens like cement. So mixing the two together makes a better formula so it doesn't turn into like cement dirt. And these apple trees sure love that compost mixture. It's just grass and weeds that I baled up and let rot. But that's my key to growing apple trees from seed. And this concludes the video. Thanks for watching.